everybody, it's Hannah and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the book series I want to finish in 2020. For this list I'm going to be looking at series that I have already started, so I've at least read one book of the series. The series doesn't necessarily need to be completed, but I would like to complete what is out so far. So without further ado, let's get straight into the series I want to finish this year. So without further ado, let's get straight into the series I want to finish this year. The first series I want to talk to you guys about is Skulduggery Pleasant by Landy. I picked this series up when I was about 12 or 13. The concept of this story just intrigued me, and as soon as I picked up the first book, I was hooked. I have read quite a few of these books. I think I've read about 6 or 7 of these series. However, after the 7th one, I just lost it. I got busy with other things and just didn't have the time, or I just hadn't picked up the next one in the series and just fell behind. I definitely want to finish or catch up with this series this year because I believe that one of the books in this series is coming out this year, or I believe it was last year, and it looks so interesting, and the covers, the story for the new one looks so fascinating. So I definitely want to catch up and keep on going with this incredible series. Talking about series where I just forgot to pick up the next one, or just got very busy and got distracted, or got picked up other books instead, is the Hidden Oracle series by Riordan. This is the third series in the Percy Jackson universe. It follows Apollo. I really loved the first one and the second one because I believe I also read the second one, but when the third one came out, I think there was something happening and I just hadn't picked it up. I'm very behind on this series, but that is not a testament to my love of this series because I really enjoy it. It is a fantastic series. It's just as good as the Percy Jackson series and I believe it's called the Heroes of Olympus series. I'm currently rereading through the Percy Jackson universe. I'm currently up to the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series. I will gradually make my way to the Hidden Oracle series, and hopefully I will get to it this year. That is my hope and dream, to get to it this year, because the newest one of this series is actually coming out this year. I believe it's called The Tyrant's Tomb, and that just sounds so exciting. So I definitely want to try and finish this whole Percy Jackson universe before September so I can pick it up on the day and get so excited. The next series I want to talk to you guys about is the Bone Witch series by Chupeco. I think that's how you say name. Please don't hate me for saying that wrong if it's wrong. I actually picked this book up a couple of years ago. I just saw it in a bookshop and I thought the concept sounded so fascinating. It's definitely one of the harder books I have read, but that doesn't determine my enjoyment of this series. I have read the first 2 of the series and I absolutely love them. They are so fascinating. It deals with very dark fantasy themes, and that's probably why I enjoyed it so much. I have actually got the 3rd book, so I'm hoping to reread the first 2 and then pick up the 3rd book and finish this trilogy, because I really enjoyed this dark fantasy series, and I have another book of hers that I really want to read this year. I'm hoping to finish this trilogy in the first couple of months, hopefully, but we shall see. The next series I want to talk to you guys about is Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. I believe this is actually the 2nd book in the series, the first one being Through the Evernight. I don't actually own the first one, so I'm probably going to have to re-get that one because I have no idea what happened in the first book because it's been so long since I've read it. This book, I believe, is a dystopian book. I really was interested about this book when I read it. I really enjoyed it. I started this one, but then something happened where I just put it down and never picked it back up. So I really want to finish it. I believe this one also has another book after this one. I'm pretty sure, or it could be a duology. I'm not 100% sure. But I just found this one so fascinating, and it dealt with a lot of dystopian kind of themes with corruption. It was kind of my introduction to dystopian besides the Hunger Games, outside the Hunger Games kind of series. So I actually really enjoyed it, and I definitely want to try and finish this one this year to see if I still enjoy it, or if it was just when I was younger I enjoyed it, because I read this when I was much younger. Another series that I started when I was much younger, but loved so much, loved the first book so much, because I believe I started the second one but never got around to finishing it as well. I loved it so much that I actually got the 10th anniversary edition, and that is Graceling by Kristen Cashore. This series is actually a trilogy. It follows a new character in each book, and I believe there is 3. I have the first 2. I don't actually own Bitter Blue, which is the 3rd one. It's all set in the same universe, and it's just so interesting. The main character in this first book is such a badass. I love her. I don't remember her name though, but she's awesome. I thought this first book was incredible, and I really want to read these last 2 books, Fire and Bitter Blue, because they look so good. This book was actually picked up because of my cousin's recommendation, so thank you so much. You know who you are. And I'm really hoping to finish this series this year. So I think it's such trilogy because it's such an incredible world. The next series I want to talk about is Every Heart a Delaware by Seanan Mcguire. So this series I picked up last year. It is a very short book, but it damn did it leave an impression. I am so excited to pick up the rest of them. I've only read this one and I absolutely loved it. It was one of my favorites of 2019. I really want to read the next one of the series. I believe there's about 3 more that I need to read, and I think there's another one coming out. So I definitely need to crack on that and read this series. It is a fantastic fantasy series. I'm so glad I picked it up last year, and it's phenomenal. Can't wait to read it and see where this series goes. One of my all-time favorite surprises of the year was 3 Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. This book I was not sure what to expect when going in. I picked it up not expecting much of it, but it sounded a bit interesting, and oh boy did it surprise me. I'm so glad I picked it up. I really want to see where this series goes, because the ending of the first book kept me hooked. I was like, I need to know what happens now. I love this book. I love so many characters of this series. I picked it up due to a recommendation on one of the booktube accounts I follow, and I'm so glad I added it to my TBR because it's just incredible, and I'm hoping to finish this series this year. I think it's got a few more books in the series. I'll probably pick up the second one soonish, but maybe not finish the whole series until towards the end of the year rather than the start of the year, because I have so many on my list. The first one I want to talk to you guys about is Carry On by Rowell. I picked this one up because I had read Fangirl and absolutely loved it, and obviously Kath writes about this fandom which this book is kind of based off, so I decided to pick up this book and I really liked it. I thought it was so fantastic, so great. I fell in love with it. It was just such an incredible, it was very fast read. I read it on the airplane, I sped through it, such an easy read to read. And I decided straight after that to pick up the second one, so I actually did start reading it, but then I left it at my friend's house. So I only just got it back not too long ago, so I'm hoping to finish that this year. I'm enjoying it, but not quite as much as this one, so we shall see if it gets better, but I should finish that one fairly soon. The last series I want to talk to you guys about is Ace of Shades series by Foody. I have read the first one of this series. I haven't read any others. This was the first book I have read of hers, but since then I've also read Daughter of Burning City, which is just as fantastic. I really was impressed with the writing style in this book, and also the magic system in this series is fantastic. It is so interesting and intriguing. It's really engaging as well. It really captures your attention. I really like this book. I just haven't picked up the second one because I haven't got around to it. I picked this book up for two reasons. I saw it on a book recommendation video and it sounded so interesting, so I decided to put it on my TBR. And the second reason was because it won my poll for my Instagram. I did a lot of polls last year where I picked 4 books, and for you guys to pick the winner, and that would be the next book I read, and this was one of the winners, and I am so glad it won because it is so fantastic. I'm hoping to read the second one. I believe the third one's coming out soon-ish, over the next couple of years, but I just want to try and finish King of Fools this year and see what happens in the series, because it sounds so interesting, and I'm definitely excited to see after where it left off. The last 2 series that I want to talk about are actually books I picked up last year, so they're fairly new series that I want to read. Alright guys, that's it for my series that I want to finish for this year. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if there is a series you saw on this list that you have read and what you thought, with no spoilers please, obviously. Also let me know if there is some series that you want to finish this year. As always, I'll leave my social media in the description box down below. But until next time guys, see ya!